to this week's adventure in Canada's wilderness. I'm your host, Micah James, and I live out here in Canada's wilderness. This week, I'm going to teach you people how to forge your own basic shelter so that you know what to do if you ever get marooned out in the wilderness. Whether it's up here in Canada, or right there in the comfort of your very own living room. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Micah, in this day and age, won't we just put ourselves up in a hotel or something? Well, everyone knows after Donald Trump discovered America, he bought all the hotels off the Pilgrims in the Louisiana Purchase. But up here in Canada, they didn't have any pilgrims, just hockey players. So, unless you want to sleep out on the ice with puck whizzing past your head all night, then I suggest you learn how to forge your own basic shelter. Now, I know what else you're thinking. Micah, aren't shelters dangerous? Well, yeah. I mean, your shelter might burn down if you leave the iron on, or it might blow up if you're not careful in your meth lab. So, I suggest you build your basic shelter with as few irons and meth labs in it as possible. Now, I know what else you're thinking. Micah, why forge a basic shelter when I've already built a sundial? Well, that's a fair question, because a sundial is important. I mean, it's one of mankind's basic needs to know what time it is. But we also have other basic needs, like playing some World of Warcraft online with our friends, or uploading pics and videos to our Facebook page, or just coming home after a long, hard day's work, trying to get rescued and watch the hockey game. I mean, you never know. You might get stranded out here during the Stanley Cup Finals. So, by all means, build your sundial first. That way you'll know what time the hockey game comes on. But then don't forget to forge your own basic shelter. All right. Now, let's get started, shall we? Okay. So, first thing we want to do when we find ourselves stranded out here in the wilderness is find a tree with a nice strong branch that, come on, I'll show you. All right, so look around here, some of these branches. That's right. Oh, let's see, this one, oh, now, I think that one will do. See, there we go. A nice strong branch that we can use for our ceiling joist. Now, what we need now is another branch, a loose branch. So, here we go. Okay, I think that'll do. All right, there we go. See, there we got a nice strong branch that we can use as a roof. Now, what we'll do with this is we'll weave it in there with that other branch, the ceiling joist branch. Put that in there like that. Okay, all right, now put these soffits in. Okay, no insulation, and okay, there we go. See that? A perfect basic shelter. Now, we can climb in there and get out of the rain and snow. We got a roof there with our ceiling joists coming down. But, oh man, you know what? I'm not really happy with it. I mean, it would do. It's a nice basic shelter, but I think I can do better. Just remember that. When you're stranded out in the wilderness, you've got plenty of time on your hands. The average person doesn't get rescued for 4 to 6 hours. So, if you're not happy with your first attempt, whether it's building a fire or putting together a sundial, get eaten by a bear, you can always start over and try again. Practice makes perfect. I mean, you know what they say about how to get to Carnegie Hall, right? Use Google Maps. All right, so I'm going to take this branch back out, and I'm going to put it up there a little bit higher. Okay, yeah, there we go. So that looks better already. So we just put the soffit. Okay, a little bit of insulation. All right, well, there, good. See, that's better. Now, so it's our basic shelter. We've got basic cable, dial-up internet. I'll upgrade to DSL tomorrow, and of course a beer fridge. But I've just got the Molson and Moosehead in right now. I'll import some Corona later on. All right, so now that you know how to forge your own basic shelter, you can add a garage to put your motorcycle in, or build a jacuzzi so you can have some hot chicks over and have a naked hot tub party, or add on a guest house for the bears and coyotes that are coming over to try to eat you by ripping your head off and devouring your flesh. Okay, so hope you've learned something. Now, next time you're stranded out in the wilderness, you'll know how to put together your own basic shelter. All right. Well, I'll see you next time in Adventure in Canada's Wilderness.